I would like to introduce Mr. Shaikh Shams now. He's an electrical engineer working in R&D department group of NXP Semiconductors in Chandler, Arizona, an active social worker and very much involved in cultural and activities in Bangladeshi community. Sheikh, with other people in Bangladeshi community, have established a non-profit organization, cultural, educational, charitable organization called Bangladesh Theatre of Arizona, BTA, and serving as a president. BTA is involved in staging Bangla plays, promoting the language by running Shikor Bangla School, publishing Bangla magazine, making Bangla documentaries, etc. Sheikh is serving as a director and the main teacher of the BTA run a weekend Bangla school, Shikor Bangla School, which is being operational for past 16 years. Sheikh was one of the pioneers in organizing International Mother Language Day every year in the month of February, which is the day to celebrate and promote everybody's mother language. Sheikh was instrumental in communicating and forming COILS, Coalition of International Language Schools in Arizona, involving many different people who are also working passionately to promote their own languages to the next generation and having a common goal. I would like to welcome Sham.
Thank you very much. Too much introduction. So, thank you for this event. Dr. Berlinge, when she called me that I need to come here and showed me the speaker list, then I could not resist. No, I have to be here because I've been trying to reach you guys for some time. And I see Olga here. She's been with us too, so in this journey. So I can tell a little bit of my story. It's on the introduction. I came to Arizona in 1998. Before that, I spent a couple of years doing my master's in Florida. And I've been so passionate with languages, especially the mother language. And we formed a cultural organization, actually the theater. So I directed many plays, some other people did. So actually there will be one in next month too. So of course in my mother language. And we did a lot of plays with kids involvement too. So then we thought that, okay, we have a good force, good volunteer force. Why don't we do something good about it that will stay, that will give to the community? So we formed the language school, and that was 2003. And we just didn't form it like that. I did a research on this, like the way back home, how we teach the kids the language. Here, it is different. We cannot really teach the kids the same way. I'm sure you guys agree with that. So I personally called all the language schools abroad. Abroad means like away from, I'm from Bangladesh, different places in Europe, in Australia, and in Canada, in United States. At least I called 20 plus schools and talked to the teachers, the directors, how they run it, what should be the model. And then when I talked to them, get their model, and then did a survey that, okay, we open a language school over here, would you send your kids? They said they were so excited. So we decided, okay, if we get only 10 students, we'll start. So the first day was awesome. We got more than 30 kids, and all the parents were excited, and we started that. So I can tell you one story. While I was making those phone calls, I made one call to a language school that was in Los Angeles, LA. They call it a mobile school. So every weekend they were having school in one people's living room, next week somebody else's living room. So I spoke to a person. He was a second generation. Uh, so he says that he never taught Bangla. He was never taught Bangla. So his parents were first generation over here, and they ignored that. And then now he has his kids, and he is very passionate. He doesn't know Bangla. He takes his kids to those schools. So that really touched me. Like, he regrets, like he blames his parents why they didn't really pursue him to teach him the language, his own language. So then we start the Shikor Bangla school. I don't know if you know the word Shikor. What is Shikor means? Anybody know? Shikor means root. So we asked for the names. Like, okay, we are looking for a good name for our school. So somebody give that name, and we all loved it. So our root, we are here, but our root is somewhere else. And we want to keep that within ourselves. So we want to transfer this to our next generation. So when I see the video of the, uh, the next generation, it was so touching, and I really agree with her that how we would teach our kids, how to make them interesting, so the language becomes interesting to them. So when I started the school, then we put the curriculum, and we try to make it so that they enjoy the language. So I don't know how much we can do that, but we had lots of ups and downs, and we continue that so far 16 years, and hopefully there were few days that only teachers were there was no students, but we kept going. And the reason the main question we had, why we need the school system to get these languages over there in the school system. So we've been, when we were talking about these languages, there are other schools, not only me. So we came to know that it's when we make a good force, then all the lawmakers, they cannot really ignore us, right? So the other thing is the International Mother Language Day. I'm from Bangladesh. All the Bangladeshi people, they're really passionate about language. I don't know if you know about what is International Mother Language Day is. Anybody know here? Okay, so I should tell a little bit, yeah. So in Bangladesh, 67 years ago, 1952, and even before, so from the lawmakers, it came that you cannot speak your language. So people revolted. So we were part of another country at that time. So, and they say that, okay, the national language will not be Bangla, it will be something else. So they revolted, and there were bloodshed. Say, people died for that. And that was on 21st of February. And from there on, 1952 onwards, we mourn on that day. Because of those lives, we were able to keep our language. And we've been doing that over the time. And in 1997, United Nations, actually UNESCO, United Nations Cultural and Education Organization, they took that day because they were working on all those indigenous languages, all those languages getting lost. They want to keep those languages. I don't know if you know the stat, there are more than 7,000 languages in the world, and only 20 languages. There are 95% of the world population speaks only 20 languages. The rest of the languages die. Every day they are dying. There are more than 1,000 languages. there are only very handful people are speakers. If the speaker died, the language died. And when the language dies, it the thousands years of history, tradition, everything, culture dies with that. So United Nations, they were working on it, uh, and we were proud that they picked the day, 21st of February, as the International Mother Language Day. And that makes us proud. So suddenly that day, from a mourning, we mourn for those lives, it's become a celebration. And here in Arizona, we've been observing that day for last 20 plus years. And recently for last 10 years, we are actually observing as the International Mother Language Day. Before that, it was just a language day for us. Then we invite all those languages. Even there were, last year, Marathi was there, about 19 languages participated in their own languages, kids sang, performed. Superintendent of Education, Kathy Hoffman, was the chief guest in that event. So we try to reach out all those lawmakers to make them aware, we are here. There are people here. There are about 5,000 Bangladeshi people here. I don't know about the Marathi community. How big is that? 2,000? Yeah. So there are big Korean community here. So then we were thinking that, okay, we should unify all those efforts. Like, I'm working for the Bangla language for so many years. There are people like Alaka, she's running a school. Bhagyashri, she is so passionate about language. And there are other people I don't know. So I tried to reach all those people. Okay, then we formed a coalition. It is called COILS, C-O-I-L-S, Coalition of International Language Schools. So we did what, 5 or 6 meetings so far to try to gather and get everybody's mind together to see what we can do together so that we can keep our language alive and also all the languages. I'm not talking about Bangla, I'm talking about all the people's language, they can speak to that language. So in our International Mother Language Day, we go to all the lawmakers, we go to the different cities, they send us the message, they proclaim the day. So last year, 5 different city mayors proclaimed. But some, they are not really, I remember I spoke to one of them, one of the mayors, I don't want to say which one. So he thinks that mother language should be kept in the mother countries. I was so, how can he say that? So here we want to, like, how language die, right? Bhagashi was telling, like when there is a big language, like Dr. Ann was saying, like Hindi is the problem. It's not any particular language. It's when there is a bigger language, the smaller language becomes less important, and parents also not interested. There is no benefit. Like when we first hear, I have to explain these things to all the parents over and over again. Why I would send my kids to Bangla school? Why Bangla is so important? They will not go to Bangladesh. They will not speak that language. Why it's important? So I had to explain. I had to convince them to bring them their kids. I had to tell them all the things that they probably care. Okay, they can talk to your parents. They can talk to your grandparents over the phone. They can go back. They can communicate. They can. It will be good to have that because they can. It will be in their resume so that they can accept in good colleges. Some people buy that, but the main thing is when the language is really a big part of the culture, If you take the language out, your culture is, the big part of your culture is going out. So, I asked that mayor that he was from some European country. Do you know your language? I'm asking you. Do you know anything in your Italian?
So yes, it's so interesting because my great grandmother, although she was Italian, her family often went into France for really important things. So we have marriage certificates and death certificates and baptismal certificates that were signed in Marseille. And so yes, I've had to.
That's good. That's
because
really
I'm
commendable.
interested.
Yeah.
Yes,
But many people, they don't really care.
That's correct.
But this is so important. That's why I say that root is important, right? So I finished my. I'm not that much prepared, but I finished my talk. I heard that from my friend. I really love this. Like we often say that United States is a melting pot, right? Everybody we come, we more melt over here. But
In Arizona,
yeah, like in Arizona, but all the cultures melt together. But actually, I really love this. One of my friends told me, actually we should call it as a salad bowl. Like it's a good, delicious salad, but when you eat, you can taste, you can recognize, okay, it's a tomato there, or it's a onion there, it's a celery there. You can get those identity, like you can feel those. But all together, we will be proud American. But with keeping our individuality, keeping our culture alive. Thank you very much.